Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt nervous or unsure when speaking in English? You know exactly what you want to say, but somehow the words don't come out as easily as you want them to? If yes, you're not alone. But don't worry. Welcome to English Tone, the best place to learn English in an easy and fun way. I'm so glad you're here because today's video is going to help you take your spoken English skills to the next level. Are you tired of struggling to speak confidently in English? If so, today's story will inspire you and give you the tips you need to speak more fluently and confidently. So, if you're ready to take your English speaking skills to the next level, make sure you watch this video till the end. But let me assure you, making mistakes is actually the best way to learn. And today we're going to show you how. Make sure to watch this video till the end for some amazing tips. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to English Tone for more useful lessons. Milton and Jocusta's journey. A story of overcoming fear. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet town nestled between green hills, lived two friends named Milton and Jocusta. Milton was an energetic young man with a passion for learning. He loved to read books, watch movies, and even dreamt of traveling the world. There was just one thing that held him back. He struggled with speaking English. He had studied grammar, vocabulary, and writing for years. However, whenever it was time to speak, his words seemed to get stuck, and he would freeze. His nerves took over, and the words just wouldn't come out. Jocusta, on the other hand, was a smart and confident woman who had a natural knack for languages. She could speak English fluently, and her grammar was nearly perfect. But she had a different problem. Although she knew the language well, she was terrified of making mistakes. This fear kept her from speaking freely. Whenever she had to speak English in front of others, she would hesitate. She was afraid that people would judge her for saying something wrong. So she kept quiet and avoided conversations in English whenever possible. One bright and sunny afternoon, Milton and Jocusta met at a cozy cafe in the town square. They were sitting at their usual spot by the window, sipping on their favorite coffee. As they chatted, Milton couldn't help but express his frustration. "Jocusta," he said, "I've been learning English for so long, but every time I try to speak, I freeze up. My mind goes blank, and I can't get the words out. It's so frustrating. I don't know what to do." Jocusta smiled sympathetically and replied, "I know exactly how you feel, Milton. I've been there too. I can understand everything you say, and I know all the rules. But whenever I have to speak, I get scared of making mistakes. I always wonder, what if they don't understand me? Or what if I say something wrong? It makes me nervous, and I end up avoiding speaking." Milton looked at Jocusta and said, "What if we try to help each other? Maybe if we practice together, we can both get better. You can help me with speaking confidently, and I can help you overcome your fear of making mistakes. Together, we can become better speakers." Jocusta thought about it for a moment, then nodded in agreement. "You're right. We both need to face our fears. And what better way than to support each other? Let's make a plan. We can meet every day for a few minutes and practice speaking." And so, a new chapter began in their journey to improve their spoken English. Every day, without fail, they met at the cafe for their practice sessions. At first, it was a little awkward. Milton would get nervous and struggle with his sentences, while Jocusta would pause before speaking, worried about making a mistake. But over time, they became more comfortable. They began to talk about different topics, everything from their favorite movies to their dreams and goals. They didn't focus on making every word perfect. Instead, they focused on expressing their thoughts clearly. Milton quickly learned from Jocusta's approach. She didn't worry about being perfect. Whenever she made a mistake, she laughed and corrected herself. She saw mistakes as opportunities to learn, not as something to be ashamed of. Slowly, Milton became more confident. He realized that it was okay to make errors. The most important thing was to keep trying. On the other hand, Jocusta also learned a lot from Milton. He encouraged her to speak more often and to stop worrying about making mistakes. He taught her that it was better to communicate her ideas, even if the words weren't perfect, rather than staying silent out of fear. As they practiced, Jocusta began to see that her fear of making mistakes was holding her back. She started letting go of her anxiety and focused on having fun with the language. With every passing day, their speaking skills improved. Milton's words began to flow more easily. His confidence grew, and he was no longer afraid to speak. Jocusta, too, started speaking more freely. She stopped overthinking every sentence and began enjoying the conversations. Together, they learned to speak English confidently and naturally, just by practicing every day and helping each other. Tips to improve spoken English. 1. Practice regularly. From the story of Milton and Jocusta, we can learn that regular practice is the key to improving your spoken English. At first, both of them struggled with confidence, but by meeting every day and speaking for just a few minutes, they started making progress. Practicing regularly, even for short periods, will help you feel more comfortable and improve your fluency. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Just keep practicing, and you'll get better. 2. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. One of the most important lessons from Jocusta's journey is that mistakes are okay. At first, Jocusta was so afraid of making mistakes that she hesitated to speak. But once she realized that making mistakes was part of learning, she became more confident. Every mistake she made helped her learn something new about the language. So, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Embrace them as learning opportunities. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, even the best English speakers. 3. Focus on communication, not perfection. Milton's initial fear was not being perfect. He wanted to speak without errors, but he soon realized that the goal is to communicate your ideas clearly. It's better to express your thoughts and make small mistakes than to stay silent out of fear. Communication is the key to improving your spoken English. So, focus on getting your message across, not on being perfect. 4. Learn from others. Milton and Jocusta helped each other by practicing together. They shared tips, corrected each other's mistakes, and encouraged one another. Practicing with a partner or in a group can help you improve faster. You can learn new vocabulary, different ways of expressing yourself, and even new grammar rules. So, try to find a study buddy or join an English-speaking group where you can practice regularly. 5. Consistency is key. As Milton and Jocusta showed us, consistency is essential to improvement. They practiced every day for just 30 minutes, and over time, they made great progress. Even if you don't have much time, try to practice speaking for a few minutes each day. Consistency will help you build your confidence and improve your speaking skills step by step. 6. Immerse yourself in English. Lastly, to improve your spoken English, you need to immerse yourself in the language. Milton and Jocusta didn't just practice speaking. They also listen to English through movies, podcasts, and conversations. The more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it will feel to speak. So, try to surround yourself with English as much as possible. Listen to English music, watch TV shows or movies in English, and read books aloud. To sum it up, the key tips for improving your spoken English are: practice regularly, don't be afraid to make mistakes, focus on communication over perfection, learn from others, be consistent, and immerse yourself in the language. Just like Milton and Jocusta, you can overcome your fear and become more confident in speaking English. Thanks for watching today's video on English tone. I hope these tips help you become a better English speaker. If you liked the story and found the tips helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below to let us know how you practice speaking English, and share this video with your friends who might also find it useful. And of course, please subscribe to English Tone for more stories, lessons, and tips. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next video.